Get back on board for F's sake." These words thundered across radio waves on the night of January 13th, 2012. An Italian Coast Guard commander was screaming at a ship's captain who had just abandoned 4,229 souls. The Costa Concordia, a floating palace of luxury, lay dying on its side. Passengers trapped inside screamed for help as freezing Mediterranean water rushed through shattered windows. Meanwhile, their captain sat safely in a lifeboat, refusing to return. Francesco Schettino wasn't some rookie sailor. He was a seasoned cruise ship commander with 11 years of experience navigating these exact waters. The Costa Concordia had been his kingdom for less than a year. A 951-foot floating city designed for Mediterranean dreams. That January evening, it had been carrying 4,229 passengers and crew on what should have been a perfect voyage. Just 500 meters from the rocky shores of Giglio Island, everything went catastrophically wrong. What happened next would expose one of maritime history's most shocking acts of cowardice. If you're finding value in this, hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. As we discussed, Captain Schettino commanded one of the most advanced cruise ships ever built. But what happened next would turn this luxury vessel into a death trap. At 8:45 p.m., Schettino made a fatal decision. He would deviate from the approved route to perform an unauthorized sail-by. His target was Giglio Island, a rocky outcrop known for its treacherous underwater terrain. This wasn't about passenger entertainment. Schettino wanted to impress his head waiter, Antonello Tievoli, who called this island home. A personal favor that would cost lives. This wasn't Schettino's first reckless stunt. He had performed dangerous sail-bys before, each time gambling with thousands of lives. Previous incidents had gone unnoticed by Costa Cruises' management. Schettino's luck had made him overconfident. Tonight, that luck would run out. As the Concordia approached Giglio's coast, bridge officers raised urgent concerns. The ship was moving too close to the rocky shoreline. Schettino dismissed their warnings. His arrogance blinded him to the underwater rocks that lay hidden beneath the surface. At 9:45 p.m., the inevitable happened. The Costa Concordia's hull scraped against the underwater rocks with a sickening grinding sound. The impact tore a 170-foot gash along the starboard side. Water began flooding. The collision had torn a massive 160-foot gash through the Costa Concordia's hull. Water flooded in with catastrophic force. The ship was dying. But passengers heard none of this truth. Instead, the announcement claimed a simple electrical problem, a deliberate lie to prevent panic. While below deck, the ocean claimed more territory by the second. Then the emergency power failed. 4,200 souls were plunged into complete darkness. Screams echoed through black corridors as the ship began its deadly tilt to starboard. Captain Schettino had the power to order immediate evacuation. He waited over an hour. Every minute of delay sealed more fates. The ship capsized further, trapping hundreds inside. Elderly passengers like Maria Grazia Trecarici and Luisa Antonia Virzi couldn't escape the flooding lower decks. Others like Georgia Ananias faced an impossible choice: stay trapped or jump into freezing Mediterranean waters. She jumped. Many others followed. The desperate search for survival had begun. By the end of this nightmare, 32 people would lose their lives. But the most shocking revelation was yet to come. Where was the captain during this chaos? While passengers fought for their lives in the darkness, Captain Schettino made a decision that would forever define him as one of history's greatest maritime cowards. At 11:23 p.m., with over 4,000 souls still trapped aboard the dying Costa Concordia, Schettino abandoned his ship. The maritime law is sacred and absolute. The captain goes down with his ship, but Schettino chose cowardice over duty. Coast Guard Commander Gregorio de Falco discovered the unthinkable truth during their radio communications. When de Falco realized Schettino was safely on shore while people died, his fury exploded across the radio waves. Quote, "Get back on board, damn it," de Falco roared. "There are people dying. You go aboard and coordinate the rescue." Schettino's response was pathetic beyond belief. He claimed he had accidentally fallen into a lifeboat. As if lifeboats were swimming pools you could accidentally tumble into during a disaster. The man who was supposed to be the last person off his ship became the first to flee, leaving thousands to face death alone. Justice came swiftly. Schettino was arrested and charged with manslaughter, causing a maritime disaster and abandoning ship. During his trial, Schettino continued his cowardice, blaming everyone but himself for the deaths of 32 innocent people. He pointed fingers at his crew, at the ship's design, at anyone who couldn't defend themselves. But the evidence was overwhelming. The coward who fled his ship while passengers drowned. The Costa Concordia disaster shocked the world into action. Never again would captains abandon their ships while passengers remained aboard. International maritime law was rewritten. The ancient code demanding captains be the last to leave became legally enforceable worldwide. Cruise ships now face the strictest safety regulations in maritime history. Every evacuation procedure redesigned from the ground up. Bridge resource management training became mandatory. Officers must now challenge captains who make dangerous decisions. The Costa Concordia itself became a monument to human failure. The largest maritime salvage operation in history began. For 3 years, engineers worked to raise the 800-foot ship from the Mediterranean depths. The ship that once carried 4,200 souls was finally scrapped, torn apart piece by piece. But for survivors like Benji Smith, the trauma never ends. The sound of creaking metal still haunts their dreams. Families torn apart by that January night carry invisible scars. Some relationships never recovered from the terror, yet the warning signs remain. Modern cruise ships still face the same deadly threat that doomed the Concordia. Human error. The one variable that no regulation can completely eliminate. Every time you board a cruise ship, you place your life in the hands of strangers. Pray they're not like Francesco Schettino. The Costa Concordia's legacy lives on in every safety drill, every regulation,